Picture this. You invest in what seems like a powerful, dependable car, only to discover that under the hood lies a mechanical disaster. Some are so notorious for breaking down that they fail long before hitting 45,000 miles, leaving owners buried under massive repair bills. An engine that guzzles oil, overheats without warning, or suffers catastrophic failures out of nowhere. It's a nightmare scenario that happens far more often than you'd expect, and today we're calling out the worst offenders. In this video, we're diving into 12 of the most unreliable car engines, ones that turn dream cars into money pits. These engines are infamous for timing chain failures, blown head gaskets, and repair costs so high they could make a mechanic cry. If long-term reliability matters to you, this is a list you can't afford to ignore. Let's jump in. BMW N47 Diesel, a timing chain disaster. If you drive a BMW from 2007 to 2012 with the N47 diesel engine, you might want to listen closely, because this engine comes with a built-in time bomb. At first glance, the N47 seems like a solid choice. It delivers strong torque, great fuel economy, and smooth performance on paper. But in reality, it's plagued by one of the costliest mechanical failures a car can have: a timing chain failure. Unlike most engines where the timing chain is positioned at the front, making repairs relatively simple, BMW decided to place it at the back of the engine. This means that replacing a worn or failing chain isn't just a quick fix, it requires pulling the entire engine out of the car. And when that chain fails, it's not just an inconvenience, it's a catastrophic failure that can destroy the engine completely. The worst part? This issue can show up as early as 60,000 miles, but some owners report failures even earlier. Symptoms include rattling noises from the back of the engine, rough idling, and eventual loss of power. Ignore these warning signs, and you could be looking at a full engine rebuild costing upwards of $5,000 or more. BMW eventually redesigned the timing chain system in later models, but if you're driving an N47 from 2007 to 2012, you're rolling the dice. Many owners have faced massive repair bills, and some have even been forced to scrap their cars entirely. Toyota 2.2 D-Cat, a diesel disaster. Toyota is known for building some of the most reliable engines in the world, but even the best manufacturers have their missteps, and the 2.2 D-Cat diesel engine is one of Toyota's biggest mistakes. Used in several Toyota diesel models and the Lexus IS220, this engine was designed to be a powerful and efficient diesel option. With 177 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, it sounds impressive, but on the road, it quickly becomes a nightmare for owners. The biggest issue? The diesel particulate filter, DPF. This engine produces an excessive amount of soot, which clogs the DPF at an alarming rate. A clogged DPF leads to poor performance, excessive smoke, and eventually, engine failure if not addressed. Fixing or replacing a DPF isn't cheap. It can set you back anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, depending on parts and labor. But that's not the only problem. The cylinder head design is another major flaw. Unlike most engines, removing the cylinder head on the 2.2 D-Cat often leaves deep seal marks that require replacing the entire cylinder head assembly, a job that can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. This engine also suffers from high fuel consumption for a diesel, frequent EGR, exhaust gas recirculation, valve issues, and an overall short lifespan compared to Toyota's typically bulletproof reputation. Many owners find themselves dealing with expensive repairs long before hitting 45,000 miles, making this one of Toyota's worst diesel engines ever made. So, if you're considering a Toyota or Lexus diesel from 2005 to 2015, think twice, because the 2.2 D-Cat could cost you a fortune in the long run. Subaru 2.0D, a diesel engine that doesn't last. Subaru is famous for its boxer engines and all-wheel drive reliability, but when it comes to diesel engines, they missed the mark completely. The 2.0D boxer diesel engine, used in Subaru models from 2008 to 2020, has proven to be one of the most problematic diesels ever made. At first, the idea of a diesel-powered Subaru sounded great: good torque, improved fuel economy, and a unique boxer engine design. But in reality, This engine turned out to be a nightmare for long-term ownership. One of the biggest flaws of the 2.0D engine is its tendency to build up excessive soot in the oil system. Diesel engines naturally produce carbon deposits, but due to the unique horizontally opposed layout of this boxer diesel, the oil gets contaminated much faster than usual. If not serviced frequently, this leads to clogged oil passages, increased engine wear, and eventually costly repairs. The fuel injectors in this engine are another expensive failure point. They tend to wear out far too quickly, and when they fail, replacing them isn't cheap. Each injector costs between $300 and $1,100, and most owners end up replacing all four. That's a massive bill for an engine that was supposed to be fuel efficient and cost effective. Isuzu 3.0 V6 D-Max, a breakdown waiting to happen. The Isuzu 3.0 V6 D-Max might sound like a solid diesel engine, but in reality, it's a financial nightmare for anyone who owns a car powered by it. Found in various Renault and Saab models, this engine has a long list of reliability issues, making it one of the worst diesel engines ever produced. One of the biggest flaws of this engine is its poor quality wiring. The electrical system is prone to constant failures, leading to issues with ignition, sensors, and dashboard warning lights that never seem to turn off. Owners have reported that even after expensive repairs, electrical problems keep coming back, making it a frustrating ownership experience. The fuel injectors in this engine are another major problem. Isuzu used Denso injectors, which are notoriously unreliable and expensive to replace. These injectors fail frequently, leading to rough idling, power loss, and sometimes complete engine shutdown. Replacing a full set can cost thousands, making it a significant financial burden for owners. The cooling system is another weak point. It clogs easily, and when that happens, the engine overheats, leading to serious damage. Addressing cooling system blockages, including radiator replacement and system flushing, can cost between $1,000 and $2,000, and that's before factoring in any potential damage caused by overheating. Audi 2.5-liter V6 TDI, a costly diesel mistake. The Audi 2.5-liter V6 TDI, used in various Audi and Volkswagen models from 1997 to 2005, promised strong diesel performance and fuel efficiency. But behind the impressive specs lurked one of the most failure-prone diesel engines of its time, leaving owners with frustratingly high maintenance costs and early breakdowns. One of the biggest issues with this engine is its poorly designed camshaft system. The camshafts wear out far too quickly, causing rough idling, power loss, and engine misfires. This is often linked to extended oil change intervals, which Audi initially recommended. However, real-world use has shown that waiting too long between oil changes puts severe strain on the engine components, accelerating wear and leading to expensive failures. To avoid these issues, owners need to change the oil far more frequently than Audi suggests, using only high-quality oil. Even with perfect maintenance, though, the camshaft wear issue can still arise. Replacing a worn-out camshaft is no small fix. It can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, with parts ranging from $400 to $800, and labor making up the rest of the hefty bill. Owners who neglected maintenance often found themselves dealing with catastrophic failures before even reaching 45,000 miles. Mini Cooper N14 engine. A maintenance nightmare. The N14 engine found in the Mini Cooper S might seem like a fun, sporty option, but under the hood, it's a ticking time bomb of mechanical failures. Despite delivering peppy performance and turbocharged power, this engine is notorious for major reliability issues that start early and get expensive fast. One of the biggest problems is timing chain tensioner failure. The chain stretches prematurely, causing a loud rattling noise, especially at idle. If left unchecked, the chain can jump teeth, leading to severe engine damage or complete failure. Many owners have had to replace the timing chain long before reaching 45,000 miles, a repair that costs well over $1,000. The turbocharger wastegate system is another weak point. When it fails, the engine loses boost pressure, resulting in rough idling, sluggish acceleration, and an overall lack of power. Replacing the turbocharger isn't cheap and can easily run into the thousands of dollars. Then there's the gearbox selector shaft, which is prone to corrosion. Over time, the shaft can seize up, making the gear shift completely unresponsive. When this happens, mechanics typically replace the entire shifter assembly, a repair that costs between $600 and $800. For a small, fun car, the Mini Cooper S with the N14 engine sure comes with some big problems. Owners who don't keep up with strict maintenance schedules often find themselves facing frequent breakdowns and sky-high repair bills. Renault 2.2 DCI, a fragile diesel that won't last. The Renault 2.2 DCI engine, used in various Renault models between 1999 and 2009, was supposed to be a fuel-efficient and powerful diesel option. Instead, it turned out to be a high-maintenance money pit with multiple weak points that make it one of the most unreliable diesel engines ever produced. One of the most common issues with this engine is its weak head gasket. The gasket tends to fail far earlier than expected, leading to coolant leaks, overheating, and eventual engine damage. Overheating is a serious problem, as it can cause warped cylinder heads and permanent engine failure if left unchecked. Fixing a blown head gasket can cost anywhere from $600 to $2,000, depending on the extent of the damage. Fuel injectors are another weak point. The 2.2 DCI's injectors are extremely sensitive to fuel quality, making them prone to clogging and failure. When they go bad, they cause rough idling, misfires, and loss of power. Replacing injectors is expensive, and many owners find themselves replacing them more than once over the life of the engine. Renault initially recommended oil changes every 18,000 miles, but real-world experience has shown that this is way too long. Many owners who followed Renault's service schedule ended up with oil sludge buildup, premature engine wear, and turbo failures. To keep this engine running even halfway reliably, oil changes need to be done every 9,000 miles, doubling the maintenance cost compared to what Renault originally advertised. Fiat 1.3 MultiJet diesel, small engine, big problems. The Fiat 1.3 MultiJet diesel, introduced in 2003, was supposed to be a compact, fuel-efficient engine that delivered decent performance with low running costs. Instead, it became known for excessive wear, frequent breakdowns, and expensive repairs, making it one of Fiat's least reliable diesel engines. One of the biggest complaints about this engine is its excessive oil consumption. Despite Fiat recommending oil changes every 30,000 miles, many owners have reported serious oil-related issues well before hitting 20,000 miles. If oil levels aren't checked and topped up regularly, the engine is at high risk of premature failure. Chevrolet 2.2-liter Ecotec, weak, fragile, and expensive to maintain. The Chevrolet 2.2-liter Ecotec engine, used in models like the Chevy Cavalier and Pontiac Sunfire, was designed to be a simple, fuel-efficient four-cylinder engine. However, what it lacked in power, it more than made up for in constant mechanical issues and expensive repairs that made it one of Chevrolet's most frustrating engines. One of the most common problems with the 2.2-liter Ecotec is head gasket failure. Many owners experience coolant leaks and overheating issues, often leading to blown head gaskets well before 50,000 miles. Repairing a head gasket isn't cheap, and if the issue isn't caught early, it can lead to complete engine failure. Oil leaks are another widespread problem. The valve cover gaskets and oil pan gaskets tend to wear out prematurely, leading to oil consumption issues and low oil pressure warnings. If left unchecked, these leaks can cause serious internal engine damage, making maintenance a constant headache. Beyond the reliability issues, this engine is underpowered and inefficient. Acceleration is sluggish, and at higher RPMs, the engine sounds strained and overworked. Despite being marketed as an economical option, its real-world fuel efficiency falls behind similar engines from Toyota and Honda. What makes the 2.2-liter Ecotec even worse is that repairs are surprisingly expensive for such a basic engine. Owners expecting a cheap-to-maintain four-cylinder often find themselves paying premium repair bills for oil leaks, gasket failures, and other mechanical faults. Alfa Romeo 2.0 Twin-Spark 16V, a high-maintenance nightmare. Produced from 1995 to 2010, the Alfa Romeo 2.0 is one of the most temperamental engines ever made. While it delivers a sporty, engaging drive, it comes at a steep cost, constant maintenance, fragile components, and an unforgiving design that punishes even minor neglect. This engine demands perfect upkeep. Unlike more durable reliable engines that can handle occasional lapses in maintenance, the 2.0 twin-spark has zero tolerance for neglect. Owners must stick to strict service schedules, use only high-quality oil, and replace parts before they show signs of failure. Even a slight delay in servicing can lead to oil sludge buildup, timing belt issues, or complete engine failure. Cold starts are another major weak point. If the engine isn't properly warmed up before hard acceleration, components wear out faster than expected, leading to increased oil consumption and reduced lifespan. Pushing this engine too hard when it's cold can result in catastrophic failures well before 40,000 miles. Regular servicing isn't just recommended, it's mandatory. Ignoring even minor warning signs can turn small issues into major repair bills. Valve timing issues, worn camshafts, and failing variators are all common problems that require costly repairs. Jeep 3.6-liter Pentastar, an electrical and mechanical headache. The 3.6-liter Pentastar engine, found in many Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler models, was supposed to be a versatile and durable V6. While it delivers decent power and fuel efficiency, it comes with major reliability issues that make it one of the most frustrating engines to own. One of the biggest problems is the totally integrated power module, TIPM failure. The TIPM is the brain of the vehicle's electrical system, controlling everything from the fuel pump to the headlights and even the throttle. When it fails, and it often does, owners experience random electrical issues, including the engine refusing to start, fuel pump failures, and accessories shutting off unexpectedly. Fixing this issue is expensive, with replacement costs often exceeding $1,500. The throttle position sensor is another common failure point. When this sensor malfunctions, the engine suffers from poor throttle response, inconsistent acceleration, and random power loss. Drivers often report rough idling, hesitation, and difficulty maintaining speed, especially when climbing hills or cruising on the highway. Beyond these major flaws, the 3.6-liter Pentastar also demands more maintenance than the average engine. Owners need to regularly service the transfer case and differentials, in addition to standard oil and transmission fluid changes. Skipping these maintenance steps leads to accelerated wear and costly repairs down the line. Nissan 1.5-liter and 1.8-liter QG series, an engine that burns itself out. The Nissan 1.5-liter and 1.8-liter QG series engines, produced between 1999 and 2006, were supposed to be reliable, fuel-efficient options for economy cars. Instead, they turned out to be short-lived, oil-burning disasters that left many owners facing costly repairs or complete engine failure far earlier than expected. One of the most common and frustrating issues with these engines is excessive oil consumption. Owners frequently report that their engines burn through more than 1 liter of oil per 1,000 kilometers, with some experiencing as much as 1.5 liters disappearing between oil changes. If not checked and topped up constantly, this rapid oil loss can lead to severe internal damage, overheating, and engine seizure. The root cause of this problem lies in the piston rings, which wear out far too quickly. Once the rings degrade, oil starts leaking into the combustion chamber, causing smoke, power loss, and eventual breakdown. Many Nissan owners have been shocked to learn that fixing the issue requires a full engine rebuild or replacement, making the repair costs too high to justify. While Nissan did offer some warranty replacements, many owners were left to deal with the expensive consequences of a poorly designed engine. For those looking for a dependable Nissan engine, the 1.5-liter and 1.8-liter QG series are best avoided. With high oil consumption, premature wear, and repair costs that outweigh the car's value, these engines simply don't last. These 12 engines prove that not all cars are built to last. While some vehicles are known for their reliability and longevity, these engines stand out for all the wrong reasons, with poor engineering choices, fragile components, and repair costs so high they make even seasoned mechanics cringe. From timing chain failures to blown head gaskets and excessive oil consumption, these engines turn what should be a dependable vehicle into a money pit. If you're shopping for a used car, steer clear of these ticking time bombs, or risk being stuck with an endless cycle of repairs. Have you ever owned one of these engines? What was your experience? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of cars and engines. Thanks for watching.